Hey everybody, welcome back to latest episode of our production diary. There's Something Wrong With Mayo. I'm Miguel Ortega. This is my co-host Tran. Can't hear you.
Hey everyone.
Hey. So yeah, welcome back. Let's see, we got Kawinzi. It's Kawinzi. Hey. So we're documenting the making of an animated short film in Unreal Engine every week. This week, we're going to be putting a pause on this project for a little bit, just while we regroup and basically, what is it, Tran? What am I trying to say?
Well, we're not actually pausing the project. We're actually pausing the stream.
Pausing the stream, yeah.
So it's more of that because yeah. And then we're still gonna keep working on it. We in the last stream we talked. I mentioned a lot like we're kind of behind, and then the reasons that we basically just dove into this project and we didn't have the script done. And normally the way you want to work is have your script completed and then you come up with concepts or designs and then you start building things out. Is there a lot of noise?
There's a ton of noise, yeah.
Yeah, let me check. I don't think I have any sound settings. Audio. I'm on mute.
Can you just turn your mic off for a second? I just want to see. It's definitely your microphone. Give me 1 second. I think I know what it could be. 1 second. We're going to have to turn that off. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. We have a fan in the background. It's actually kind of far.
There's only James. There's only one input, so for the sound. So okay, so that fixes that issue. So yeah. So keep going, Trent. Sorry.
Okay, so yeah, so Miguel and I we kind of started like weird. We didn't have our script completed first, and we just started building assets to try to get this side moving. And when it's really done, it's actually just made everything kind of slower because you do have to have your script done before you start locking things down, like saying we're going to make this set. So we're making kind of like these decisions without knowing exactly if that's going to be in there.
These are decisions that take a ridiculous amount of time to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were doing stuff that was completely being discarded because we were like, okay, I guess we need this, and then we would kind of force it into the script just because we had already built it, and that's just not the way.
It's a terrible way to go.
Yeah, like it's something that you always critique Hollywood for doing when you go, they started filming the movie without the script, and then here we are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So we just feel like, whoa, let's just get this to a point that we're super proud of it from a script point of view. And we are pretty happy with it, but we just want to get it perfect. And by the way, we're really happy with it because this week we didn't work on the CG. We only worked on the script.
Yeah. And then the other problem is like, it does take two of us to final the script, and it takes two of us to build this assets. Like, I did just kind of waste time going in circles because I didn't have Miguel helping me, and I'm not blaming him. It's just what happened. But had Miguel been like on it 100% too, things would have gotten done faster, and that end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like we decided we can't keep working this way because it's actually in the long run really, really inefficient. So we're just going to be taking a break from the stream. We'll still be working. What Miguel and I will do is we'll work on the script together without the pressure of having to build the assets at the same time. And actually this week, all we did was just write, and we are getting closer to like finaling the script, which is really great.
Yeah.
I feel like we got it. Maybe.
Yeah, we think we have it, but we also one of the big things is we want to not just rush to it. Like it's such a different muscle than doing CG. Like when you do CG, you're like, okay, that's it, it's perfect. But sometimes you like need a little bit of distance from it, just from the script. I mean, just to know whether you really like it or not.
Yeah. So that's what we'll be doing, and then we can look at the script and be like, what do we have to get made, and how long is it, and things like that. So, and the other thing is like, I do feel stressed out from the streams, just to be honest, because I always feel like I have to show something, and then sometimes that that week I just all I did was make a mess. So, and I'm like, here's my mess. You guys want to see what I screwed up, and then that's it. So, yeah.
We like sharing this stuff, and we're super grateful to Gnomon for sure. So it's not that, it's just
Well, I'm like a shy person. So
no, but I think the best way to describe it is like you're trying to write a story while you're on a roller coaster.
yeah, that's what it is. I think that if we had, like, we did the stream last year, and things were kind of more in schedule, and so it actually was like, all right, I think,
I mean, more on schedule.
Well, we had the script done first,
yeah.
before Voice in the Hollow, and then things were just kind of, we did have troubles, like anything that you post when you're making something, but it felt like things were kind of happening in order, right? Like we had the script done, and then we moved to do this, and
Yeah.
whereas here, I feel like we don't have the script done, but we're building and building and building.
Yeah. So, and I mean, you could already see the results of that with we were actually going to do a project before this called the Devil's Trill Sonata, which we completely threw away everything, and we just threw the project away entirely. This is not going to happen in this case. We actually really love this project. We like it so much that we feel that it deserves to be done right. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that. In other news, what else? This week, this is pretty cool. We got I'll share my screen. This is something that's pretty cool. So we had Jordan Peele's company sharing this on social media this week, which was pretty awesome. So 8 films that Monkey Paw loves, and they put Voice in the Hollow as one of them, which is awesome. That, like, again, that was our first film that we did, and this was done with Gnomon. So that's really cool. Obviously, Jordan Peele is the man, so
Yeah, it's awesome.
this was a huge honor that they put this on there. We're going to be at SIGGRAPH at the Marvelous Designer event. We're going to be at the Unreal in the Unreal room, which we're basically going to make a copy of the presentation we did for Gnomon. We're just going to have it there, the exact same presentation that was there for the Voice in the Hollow. And then we're going to be at the Dell and NVIDIA booth as well, which is pretty cool. So we're going to be there. I think I'm going to be there. Right? I don't think you're going to be there. Maybe you'll swing by.
Well, I mean, I'm supposed to be there.
I guess so. So, yeah. Thanks, Bobby. So yeah. So we'll be at whatchamacallit, at SIGGRAPH, and what else? That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, one thing that I want to do right now, because I figure, what the hell, let's just hang out. Tran, do you have any other thoughts on the script stuff that you want to talk about at all, or?
No, I think we just got to get it done, and then we'll see. Like it becomes like kind of like a roadmap, right?
Yeah. How would you pitch the film?
How would I pitch this?
Yeah.
I'm like the worst at pitching.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know. Like we have Threadlings, who are creatures that are made of cotton or cloth, and they have rival enemies, which are the moths, which want to eat them. right?
Okay.
And in this world, they do have magic and everything, but they're not really one-on-one capable of fighting with the moths. The moths really are much more powerful.
Yeah, it's not like Jedi's versus Sith. Like
No,
they're.
it's like
It's like Jaws.
yeah, it's more like Jaws. I think that's a good way to explain it. And so one day and these guys are made from crystals, right? So it's a colony and they mine blue crystals, and those blue crystals are then placed in an egg, and from the egg hatches a threadling, which is what you see on my screen. That is a threadling. And yeah, and one day they find a red crystal, and that changes the course of everything, because the red crystal is special because they all come from blue crystals. And that's all I could say, I guess.
Someone is saying Miguel's keeping Mudbox alive all by himself. I think there's like another two people. It's me, Ian Spriggs, and maybe
Marco De Luca.
Marco De Luca.
Actually, some of the best guys are keeping it alive. Marco De Luca and Ian Spriggs are.
Marco De Luca still uses it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're like the best in the industry. They're so good. So,
I do use ZBrush too. I use everything, but for the corrective shapes, I just do it. I just rather do it here. It's much faster for me. But yeah, I do it old man style.
Miguel is keeping my box alive. I like the name Going Trash.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. So here I'm just. I realized that we didn't have the correctives for the gloves, so I'm just gonna. What the hell? Might as well while we talk. So what else, Tran?
I mean, that's that. Like I don't think I pitched this very well, but like right now, my feeling on what we're making is I think I feel good about it, which is good, because you don't want to make something and you feel bad about it, because that actually could really happen. I don't know if you guys have done. I feel like the audience are all creative people, probably, and everyone has made something, and you guys probably understand the feeling of like you're making something and you don't feel good about it. So we don't have that problem, which is excellent. We just kind of need to like regroup and lock down the story, and then we could proceed.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. So
Yeah, and ultimately, what we want to do is make the final thing that we're proud of, right?
yeah, like the things that are different from the Voice in the Hollow, for better or worse, and we're not sure yet, is we know for sure that this is going to be one episode. It is not going to be a self-contained story. That we know.
Yeah, and we had to come to terms with that too. So
Yeah.
and
we the thing is, the reason why we feel that we were so easy, the reason why we were able to do the self-contained story in The Voice in the Hollow in such a short amount of time, in a way, is because if it's a comedic short, then the gag or the punchline is short and that's it. But we want to do more dramatic stuff. So because they all died, we were like, okay, cool, we could wrap it up. But we didn't want everyone to die on this. We actually came out with a version. I actually did like it, but we don't want to rely on that for.
Well, you don't want to just like make a story and then in every story you're like, yeah, you guys are all dead.
Yeah.
And that's not what I don't want that. Like I like hero's journey stories. I like stories like the original Star Wars, and I like Harry Potter, where they're all hero's journey. And then Avatar: Last Airbender. I really like that series. It's also a hero's journey. So
you like Star Wars?
Well, I do, not like you. Compared to you, I like hate Star Wars because you love it, and I just can't even hold a candle to that.
Well, I like less of the movies than I like the movies. I only like 4 of the movies.
Oh, when I saw the original, I really enjoyed it. I really felt like that is, again, a hero's journey. Like there's things that you just like, and this kind of has elements of that, right? Like there's a hero's journey. We do have like these 2 main characters that are special.
It totally has it.
Yeah, they're special, and they also have magic. And the setting does kind of take place like somewhat like a school, but we're not trying to make it the school. It's just that these characters are kids, so they are learning magic. So they are at the age where they're in school. So it has those kind of things.
Yeah, without meaning to, we made a John Hughes movie. It's like the 80s high school films.
It's not high school. I think high school is very different than like where Harry Potter started. He was like a kid. He was like 10 or 11 or something like that. I don't remember. But yeah.
Where is the shape?
You want to show your camera? Show me what you're doing?
Well, I think I got the wrong shapes is the problem.
Oh, that's why you closed it.
Well, these are what were sent to me to fix, but I don't have a shape that just does that. So yeah, it's a little bit weird. So I'm trying to see what's going on here.
Who's your favorite directors, guys?
It depends on the genre. I think Spielberg definitely. I like Spielberg stuff. I like. I think Tarantino's one of the best for sure. I mean, his batting average is just unlike anybody else's, right? Like 9 for 9. Well, yeah, Death Proof still has its charm, and I don't even consider that a film. I see it like as a
Tarantino
TV episode.
Does well. He's like never bombed anything.
And Scorsese, I think is just incredible. Like those are like the obvious ones, right? Coppola stuff, like his Godfather run is incredible. Apocalypse Now is incredible. I got so many like the Italian stuff. Like Voice in the Hollow was inspired primarily by like the Italian Western stuff. So like Sergio Leone and Sergio Corbucci, and then like Mario Bava and Argento. But that's like the Italian stuff. Who else, Tran?
I don't know. I mean, you're like really know so much more than me. I'm such an ignorant.
You like the South Park guys?
I do. I like them. I like, maybe I don't gravitate towards specific directors. I like certain IPs and stories, and I mention them. Like I do like Harry Potter. I really like Avatar: Last Airbender a lot. I do like South Park, which is a different kind of area.
But that's just great directing. And like Team America is incredible.
Yeah, Team America is awesome. I do like Adventure Time a lot too, which is kind of got like a sort of a heroes thing in it too. So I have things shows I like. I do happen to like cartoons a lot too. So
has our deal with Lionsgate been going well? Which deal with Lionsgate?
He probably means a Ningyo.
For the Ningyo?
Yeah. Which was with Thunder Road.
Yeah. How did that go, Tran?
I don't know. You tell me. It goes how like things generally go. So that's the thing, right? Like you make something. Well, there's a lot of things that could happen. You can make a short, and you make the short, and then you're proud of it, and that's cool. You can get into festivals, which is also really great. And another thing that could happen is someone from a bigger studio sees your short and wants to develop it into something bigger. And so you get something called like an option, where they have the option to make it, and then it goes into development. So, and that takes a while. So when it goes into development, for us in that case, we didn't have a feature script, and so that type of stuff happened. Yeah. I don't know. It's still there, but we are, working on different things.
Well, the deal with Thunder Road is dead.
Yeah.
The Nino is for now it's dead, which sucks, but that's what it is. Oh, my screen died, so let me put yours back on for now. So I think the shapes that were sent to me by the rigger are incorrect.
I see. So you just got to send it back. Yeah. And then what, for anyone who's just like new, you're just seeing like an animation test with a background that I've been working on. So this environment, which took a while to like get. so if you follow the previous streams, you saw me like, okay. But we finally got that. I don't feel we're like in bad place when it comes to that. Like we are narrowing the script down, and we do have like an aesthetic established. I think the hardest thing in the first short was like I just didn't understand like how to get the aesthetic, and it just kind of came in the last several months. But it went all over the place. So
the voice in the hollow.
Yeah, we had a version where it was pastel, and it was really weird. Miguel hated that, and I didn't like it either. But I don't know. And then we talked about making it completely desaturated, and then of course we went the other way, and it's super saturated.
We went the complete opposite way.
Yeah, we made it super saturated, and then we made all the soil red. We're like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. There's just red dirt, and I didn't think that was going to work, but it did.
Yeah.
So yeah, here it's not anything like that. We just have the buildings made out of cloth, which is harder, and it's also more asset heavy. So we were able to pump out the assets more quickly in Voice in the Hollow. And here, what I managed to do is just what we have is just like we've managed to establish an aesthetic. None of these are really textured. I know it's probably hard to see, but all the
some people were asking about the caustics. I know you talked about that last week.
Yeah, I talked about it last week. You can check out last week's stream, but there's not any caustic. They're just fake. The windows are emissive, but yeah. So all the walls are just made out of cloth. And then I guess the next step in trying to make that work, like you see the rug, would be like, how do you modularize this?
That rug is my favorite thing in that room, and
that rug.
Yeah, every time I look at it and you tell me it's all geometry, it boggles my mind.
Yeah, thank you, Bobby. We would have to come up with ways to make it more modular, which I don't think it's so bad, because a lot of these shapes are like they're just kind of weird, I guess. And there's not really any rule with something like that. So that's the base mesh.
Yeah.
And then you can see, the walls they're literally just they're just quilted and up here. But I think we can make this modular. The architecture is going to feel very strange, which I think is okay. Some things are pretty easy to make. I think, like, I don't know if the rug's in here. Oh yeah, rug's here. So we have that rug. But I have I feel like I could do the rest of the stuff. It won't be like super fast, but much faster. Because the big thing was like narrowing that down. I definitely want to, see this done. and I want to see the sets complete. But that is the set, and it's all colored weird because it's been broken up for texturing. And I color code it so I know what I'm supposed to be looking at. But I feel like it could be made modular, not so it wouldn't be so difficult. Like if we just had one of these here, or you can make hallways and just stick something in like that. and
Yeah, you should do that little thing that I did the other day where I grabbed that piece and just duplicated it. It actually worked pretty well.
Yeah. So Miguel was like trying to explain something to me. And then let me make sure to instance this because this is going to tank. And he just started grabbing. Like he wanted to make a tunnel.
It actually worked surprisingly well.
Right. And then he just started grabbing them and doing something like that. And you can really see, like, at least I think I could see how you can just play with this world. And it just has like this weird effect that is so odd. But I think
it's almost Geiger-like, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how we got there, but we did.
It's Geiger if he would have taken up crochet. Not that this is crochet, but
he would have taken up quilting. Yeah. Like if you just took
quilting.
a Geiger thing and started quilting it, which is fine. Like that wasn't intentional. That's kind of like accidental, but it's fine because the story has like some parts that are kind of dark. Like when they deal with the moths, it's not like Looney Tunes type of violence.
They're asking if good question. Are those instances your machines are handling 40 million polygons so smoothly?
Yeah, they're instances. It is actually slow. A lot of the stuff in my scenes are instance, but it is really slow. But yeah, just something like that. Like you can easily, all of a sudden it feels different. The other thing is like when you look at the set, it's pretty dark, right? You're not going to be like, oh, they just duplicated that. You're going to notice the stained glass more. And those are just textured. So they're just planes with thickness that have textures on them. And that's the outside of the set. But I feel like we can do a lot of really interesting things. Like I almost think like if I just hand Miguel these things, he'll just put it together in the way I wasn't thinking of. You know,
I'll just smash it and have like zero respect for it.
Yeah, because I think that because it's like I'm kind of locked in onto it. It like kind of makes it more restrictive, if that makes sense. And then if I just give it to him, he'll do something like I wouldn't have done that at all. So we would probably get something. I need to make them more on the back side. I probably would build the back side. That way you don't just have like these single-sided surfaces. They look kind of weird.
Golden Trash wants to know if you could show the nanite in Unreal.
The nanite triangle map for the set. You mean like this?
I think when you go to show nanite, I don't
Triangles?
think you ever use it. Yeah.
Yeah, I never use that.
Zoom in.
Well, you can definitely see what's denser. These guys are dense.
You could also see the rug is madness.
Yeah, rug is pretty. It's like like this rainbow noise.
Yeah. Yeah, nanite runs amazing. I mean, nanite is the most incredible thing ever.
It actually feels slower to see it like that than when I do this. It got like really slow.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. It got very slow. Now it's fast again. It's amazing how fast this is. This is really heavy.
You could duplicate that. You could duplicate that 50 times and it probably wouldn't slow down.
It has made me like really inefficient. Like this one piece here is 1.2 million. Yeah. For a wall, but it is really big. You could see the character in it, you know, and these are all just like, they're so dense, like you can't even see the mesh. It just, the whole thing turns green. Right. And I don't retopologize any of it because they don't need to move or be animated. They're just props. So they'll just hang out like that. Yeah. Anyway, anything you want to add?
No, not really. Show the. Do you want to look at some of the notes that the Unreal guy sent us for the hair?
Yeah, I think though on like my own time.
Okay.
Because it'll probably take a moment for me to understand.
So they're asking if it was done in ZBrush. No.
No.
It was all Maya and Marvelous Designer.
Well, I did do like a base mesh and then I sculpted over it. But the base mesh was like really blocked out. You know, and then I sculpted over it and I picked up some of these facets. And then I retopoed it. But I probably won't do that anymore on any of this stuff because it takes too long. And then I also put cloth in it, and you're like, did I really need to do any of that? Once you put cloth, no. So that step I'll end up skipping. We'll probably keep this here. I kind of like this set, this part of the building. I don't know how you feel, Miguel. Take a look.
I was just looking at
like this part is not cloth. I'll probably fix the textures though. I don't think the texture is very good, but I kind of like it just like that. Because it breaks it up and it makes it blue.
Yeah, that's fine.
What I was doing here in this version, let's hide the frog, is I was just completing the ceiling. So this is going to have stained glass. It's basically stained glass room.
And this is all inspired from our trip to Paris, where we went into that mall. That probably had the biggest influence.
Yeah, so we went to the mall, and then we went into the section, and like you wouldn't even like find it talked about, but it was really beautiful. You look up, and it's like a dome ceiling with all the stained glass. It was really, really beautiful.
They're asking if Marvelous could hold such heavy geo. But anyways, I'm sorry, I cut you off. I finished what you were saying.
No, let's see. It can handle that. Like, so the question was, like, could it handle heavy geo? Yeah, I mean, not this, because if you were to try to draw on top of that, you're gonna have a horrible time. But like something like this, I do actually check the poly count. It's 37,000. It would be a little bit slower, but you do want it to be pretty smooth. So when you're putting stuff on top of it, it's not like jagged, but it can handle this. So my low geometry was fine. And I only really built half, and I just mirrored the other half. Primarily because of UVs, right? So I want the possibility of being able to get really close. Fabric has like a lot of like, you have the weave of it, like the woven parts and then thread. And if it's really low res, it cannot register. Sometimes it will just not look like fabric. So I wanted to have that option. These have a lot of UDIMs. So if you look, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 15 UDIMs, which is a lot. We'll probably texture it at 4K, export it at 2K, and we'll have the option to use 4K if we need to. But it's very planned out. So if you look at these as their 2K maps, really 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 4K maps instead of 15. So there's all this like, I mean, I have thought about that, right? So that we don't have too much resolution, but we have the option to go use something with a lot of resolution. Another thing we'll probably try to do is maybe I got to try to think of a way to just build a shader and just be able to pop the shaders on so they're not custom textured. Although if they were custom textured, they would look nicer. And I don't know if I want to add stitches. I don't know what you think about stitches.
I like stitches
Stitches along this.
on certain parts. I just wouldn't waste time on something we're not going to see, though.
Well, the thing is, if these become modular pieces, right? Like, and I mean,
Oh, then they could be anywhere.
yeah, and then it would be worth it. And they don't have to be connected like this, these three. It could just be like this. This could be an archway, right? I already have something like I would use this as a frame, probably punch out like the interior stuff. And then you'd be like, okay, we're done. And whatever is spent texturing this was not like wasted because it was just reused. And then the shapes are so odd that I don't think you realize that it's the same thing over and over. Like I'll probably build like a few more kind of strange pieces, like some kind of arch, things like that, and then give it to you and then see what you make from it. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, this could be an interesting piece if this was made to be quilted. And then it could be reused in ways. So maybe I will quilt it. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I really have to say.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's all we got for this week because we've been focusing on the script stuff. So, so it's a little pause. We'll be back, and
yeah, we won't be back next week. We're gonna take like.
Well, there'll be an announcement when we come back.
Yeah, there'll be an announcement when we come back. We'll still be working on this, so it's kind of like a break for us to regroup, but still doing it. But yeah.
So when we did the Voice in the Hollow, we started in January of last year, but we actually had started in October. So we had a few months, all of October, all of November, all of December to work on it. So yeah, and we already had the script.
Yeah, we already had the script, which is a huge part. And the other thing that's a huge part about already having the script is we already had distance from the script. So we had written it before for something else.
We wrote it in April because we had pitched it to Alex and Cameron and everybody at the birthday party in Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
And that was in April.
Yes. And then that gives us time. Like after a month, you can like look and go, oh, I like that. Or, well, what did I make? That was bad. So you have the time, the distance to like judge it. So yeah. So this time will give us like things like that we think are important because the last thing we want to do is invest time and then realize that we didn't get something right in the script and we just kind of plowed forward, as you guys see with Hollywood stuff a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll be back. Thank you guys, especially those of you guys that are always on there.
Yes.
On here, Bobby, Chatty, the huge. But everyone else, we appreciate it, and we're just taking this time to make it better.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we'll be back again.
And yeah, and definitely thanks to Gnomon for understanding.
Yeah, it's been amazing, amazing process. Like, just having the opportunity, and then that opportunity, we got to make Voice of Hall, which I feel good about, and Miguel feels good about, and Alex and Gnomon has completely supported us in that. We had so much creative freedom, and you just never get that. And I just feel really thankful. A lot of things that if I ever sound down, it's just the part of like being an artist, right? Like you just get like this is hard, stuff like that, which is really normal. So, but I'm always thankful at the end of the day, and I know, you know, this is an amazing opportunity, and I really don't want to like fail anybody. After the first one, I do feel like this pressure that you're like, oh, what if this one's not as good, and stuff like that, like the creative pressure.
That's right.
So yeah. Anyway, thank you everyone. Yeah, and thank you to Gnomon, and thank you, Alex.
I hope the writers are not on strike at your studio. This is the writers. We are the writers.
Yeah, we're not on strike.
we're on strike to, well, I guess you could say we're about to go on strike for timeout. So
we're about to get timeout just so we can regroup.
We're striking against ourselves.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We're our own biggest enemies. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah.
And that was in response to this right here. I hope the writers are not on strike at your studio. Yeah. Oh, and I did see I missed the squinty, winky eye. So, all right, guys. Well, you guys are the best. Thank you so much. And we will be back.
Yes. So hopefully you guys will be back when we're back.
And if not,
well, no, if not, please come back.
Yeah, right.
All right, bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.